Welcome back to another episode of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and in today's video we're just continuing work on the water park area of the theme park, carried on finishing off the junior coaster that we started doing last episode, and really just getting the area now completely finished off, ready to move on to the next big themed area. And as I've said previously, we're going to be moving on to working on the spooky area of the theme park. And that now should be in the next episode. We should be able to get this all finished. I don't know if there is going to be a few sort of extra details that I want to put in the water park, but I will certainly be moving on into the next big area of the theme park in the next video, so definitely do stay tuned for that. But yeah, the little family coaster, as I said in the last video, I tried to get that kind of integrated as much as possible into this building, and obviously I'm just trying to add some detail now onto the building, get all of the edging on there, and make sure all of like the corners have got columns on there. And we're also going to be going in with that idea that I also set out last time as well, when I said that I would like to have like a big entrance to this area, and it's going to be like a castle, and it's going to have two faces. So on one side of the castle you've got the spooky kind of side, and then on the other side you've got the Atlantis theme side, which obviously fits into this area quite well. But yeah, you can see I'm just adding off the finishing kind of touches there really to the backdrop. Now that sort of building that you can see there, that's really just a backdrop for the water park, just to make sure you can't see any of the other areas of the theme park from this area, just to kind of like segregate it. Now I've been doing that all along, you know, ever since I first started building this world really. I've been trying to make sure that there's like a clear kind of segment between each area of the theme park. And yeah, you know, once we're finished with this series, I'm not quite sure what we'll be doing next. Maybe I will finally get Planet Coaster. A lot of people have requested it, and I've been watching quite a few Planet Coaster videos recently. You know, it's recently come out on Xbox and PlayStation, and now you've got the console edition of Planet Coaster. I feel like a lot more people now are playing it now that you know, you've got that availability to do it on console as well as on PC. So I might move on to that, you know, next, I don't know, or I might do another Roller Coaster Tycoon series. But let me know in the comments what you want to see. I'd certainly be interested to see what your suggestions are, you know, whether you do want to see more Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, or if you'd like me to, you know, if you'd like to see me do Planet Coaster instead and try and make a world on there. I know that there is a lot more, you know, options in terms of what you can do in Planet Coaster. The game's a lot more open, you can do a lot more with it. But, you know, Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 really is a classic, and, you know, it's a game that pretty much everyone's played, and it's just a classic game, and I do really enjoy it, so we'll just have to see what happens with that one, really. But yeah, I'll come back in the next few videos, I'll see what people say, and then we'll kind of go from there, because as I say, we are now over halfway through this kind of series. So yeah, do let me know in the comments, just comment down below on this video, let me know what you want to see next. Do you want to see more Roller Coaster Tycoon, or would you like to see Planet Coaster instead? And I'll certainly take on board any ideas, any suggestions that I do get. Someone did comment in one of the previous videos, they said we'd like to see more sort of non-time-lapsed coaster footage. So obviously when I install a new ride, have a bit of footage on there that shows the ride going around that isn't sort of a time-lapse. Now what I'm going to do is, when I've actually finished this park, I'm probably going to do a video where I go back around the park and go through it in real time, so it's not all in time-lapse. So I think what we'll do is I'll go back and do that sort of at the very end. So once I've got all of the kind of peeps into the park and I've actually opened the theme park, I think then I'll go back in and I'll do a video where it's all kind of non-time-lapse and you can kind of see what all of the different rides are like. I think I've included a few different on-ride videos throughout the series, but I think it would be worthwhile just to go back, refresh people, have a little look around the park once it's finished, and then obviously do all of the rides in a kind of non-time-lapse kind of fashion. But yeah, you can see here I'm just working on the castle now. I was actually really happy with how this turned out. I managed to use like the Atlantis style flooring and also the columns as well to kind of build something that kind of looks, you know, I think it looks quite impressive, you know, certainly from a ground view. If you look at it, it does look quite impressive. It's quite a big building, and obviously what we need to do now is just figure out what the kind of spooky side is going to look like and how we're going to kind of integrate that in, because obviously you don't want to be able to see the spooky side from the Atlantis side of the park. So we need to make sure that the Atlantis side is either the same height or higher than the spooky side, so it doesn't kind of conflict with the different areas, and there is a good kind of segregation between those two. But you can see we've got the, like I said in the last video, we've got kind of like the black wall that's kind of just there to disconnect the two different areas, separate them, you know, away from each other, so you can't see one area from from the next area. But yeah, I was really happy with how that turned out. I think that looks really good now. It's, you know, created a really nice backdrop for the area. And all I need to do now, as you'll see, is I just need to go in now and add the finer details, get some more plants put in there. I've built like a little lake there, so you've got that as you walk in. You can see that kind of lake now, and you've got the view of the coaster as well. But yeah, it's kind of really now just going back, adding all of the fencing in, making sure there's plenty of bins, because I actually completely forgot to put bins in, and lighting as well. There's no lighting around the area, so we'll go in and we'll put all the lighting in there as well, because you know, lighting is important. A lot of theme parks do forget about their lighting, especially here in the UK. I don't know where everyone is watching these videos from, but if you're in the UK, you're probably going to know that the theme parks in the UK don't seem to think about lighting and how the park looks at night. You know, I'm talking to Alton Towers, Thorpe Park. Actually, Blackpool Pleasure Beach looks quite good at night. I think Blackpool Pleasure Beach is probably the best theme park at night to look at visually, because they've got that, obviously they've got the big one roller coaster which goes around the whole park, and they really seem to have really good lighting at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I don't know why. I assume it's because of the illuminations that they have every year, but the lighting in Blackpool Pleasure Beach is just really good. They light up the coasters just in white, bright white lighting, and it looks really, really good at night. I wish Alton Towers and Thorpe Park and Merlin just in general would improve their nighttime lighting. I mean, they've done a lot in recent years in terms of, you know, Alton Towers, they've put like red lighting around Nemesis, they've put blue lighting on Galactica, but I really do feel like they need to expand it more around the park. And the same goes for Thorpe Park as well. You know, their idea of themed lighting is really just adding some green and blue filters to some floodlights around the park. They need to get more, you know, park hands around there, you know, light up the areas properly, you know, get some like effects, gobo effects, you know, stuff like that. And they really do need to do stuff like that, because it would look so much better at night. And now that they're doing like the Oktoberfest event, they've got more, you know, nights of late night openings. They, you know, I think it would be worthwhile for them to do it. You know, it just creates a much better atmosphere, I think, when theme parks, you know, really think about the lighting that they've got. But yeah, you can see I'm just kind of adding some details to the front of the area as well, at the front of the park. Now, at the very front of the theme park, we've obviously got that kind of grand entrance that we built in the very first episode, but I am going to be going back and actually adding a new area at the very front of the theme park. Now, it's going to be kind of like a fairground style area at the very front of the park. Now, the front of the park it's got like quite a generic theme, and it doesn't bother me too much. That's what I was kind of going for. I wanted it to have quite a generic theme at the front of the park, because that just means then that I've been able to use the generic themed items in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I wanted to have an area. I want to kind of use every single different set of items that, you know, that's available, and that was the whole idea with this world, which is why the front of the park uses all of the generic style items. So to go along with that, I want to have kind of like quite a generic style fairground area. Now, I know that sounds terrible, but it will look really good, and I've got some good ideas for that in my head. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video, to be honest with you. I'm creating like kind of like a little back scene area there, you know, kind of like a little staff area, because there was a gap between those two buildings. But yeah, that's really it. You know, as I say, in the next video we're going to start working on the spooky style area of the park, which I'm really excited for. But yeah, apart from that, there isn't really much more to do in this video, so I will see you in the next video. I hope you did enjoy, and as always, thank you very much for watching. But yeah, you know, I really do appreciate it. There's a lot of people liking the videos. Let me know what you think in the comments, and as always, I will see you in the next one.